Well, yesterday at Maryland Church, we talked about how once we become followers of Christ, that it doesn't seem like sin just automatically dies in our life, but things continue to come up. And one thing that we talked about, which we talk about quite a bit, is the lure of lust, especially in terms of pornography, and how is it that we can get a hold of that. So I want to give you two quick approaches on how you can beat porn in your life. And this comes from some experience that I have with working with some guys and seeing some successful and seeing some not successful. So two approaches. Here's one. One approach is to stop the behavior, which is obvious, right? That's what you want to do. But how do you stop the behavior? Well, there's a program you can put on your computer called 3X Watch. What that does is anytime you hit a questionable website, it will send that information to an accountability partner or somebody that you specify. So I have some guys that have me set up on that. I have a small group of guys that I do that with. I can't do that with a ton of people, but I have a few that I do. So if they hit a questionable website, it comes to me, and then I can immediately say, what's going on? Stop. Let's talk about that. So there's some accountability there. You also might, to stop the behavior, you might want to think about some accountability with someone where you're talking about that and you're working through it, and that your accountability partner is good and he's somebody who's going to not just say, well, it's okay, just keep trying harder, but it's going to offer some great accountability. Remove yourself from the situation. Know what your trigger points are. Know when you're going to be low and going to be tempted, and do that. That's to stop the behavior. And I think that is successful in some realms. Maybe if the addiction is not super strong. But what you really need to do is get to the root of the behavior. For example, I talked to a guy who last night who's been battling with a pornography addiction for 10 years. So you're going to take some extreme measures in something like that. So you need to find the root of the behavior. The way that you can do that is to get into some professional counseling with a Christian counselor who can dig around and say, now what is it that's triggering us? Because you really need to get upstream of this thing and find out, because it's a heart issue. So what's going on with the heart that's triggering and causing the behaviors? Because if you just change the behaviors, you're just going to have this huge tension between heart and behavior. So you got to get upstream and have to change that. A great resource is 3xchurch.com. That's the number 3xchurch.com. They're a great website on some resources there. Every Man's Battle is a great book that you can read on that as you come at this thing. I would come at it two ways. One, to stopping the behavior and taking some steps towards that, but also getting upstream and finding the root of the behavior and digging down around in that, getting with a professional counselor. I can get you pointed in the right direction. If you need some of that, you can just email me. Have a fantastic week, and remember to never stop fighting, because there's a God who's on your side, who loves you, who created you for great things.